It's time for City Beat, your source for all the latest news on the city of Thompson. Only on 102.9 CHTM, your radio station.
Good morning and welcome to City Beat. I'm Stuart Walter, and with me today is Deputy Mayor of Thompson, Kathy Valentino. Welcome.
Hi, Stuart. Thanks for having me.
And we'll be talking about some of the events taking place here in the city and other items that have come up at City Hall with Council happening this past Monday. And as always, here's a reminder to listeners, call in with questions at 677-8181, or you can always email your questions ahead of time to chtimnews@arcticradio.ca. Now, one of the discussions that took place at Council on Monday was the changes to the provincial healthcare funding. One of the consultation clinic here in Thompson was one of the projects cut, but 4 projects at the Thompson General Hospital were announced. What are your thoughts on the cancellation of the clinic?
Well, obviously, I spoke about this at Council also that, obviously we're disappointed in cuts that happen, whether here in Thompson and in our region as a whole, especially what was announced for healthcare. Obviously that consultation clinic serves all of the North, so it is a necessity. In saying that, though, we have to remember that we did get funds allocated for projects here. And when I did speak at Council, I said sometimes we tend to, or it's easy to always focus on the negatives and cut this, cut that, this has happened. But I think we need to really realize that we did get projects. We did get 4 projects that will happen here. And we do understand what's happening with the province and the situation they're in with the deficit. So we're happy, we're moving forward that they are still going to do some capital work here in Thompson. And I think when you look at the whole list of all the places, I'm pretty confident that Thompson is one of the ones that got the most projects awarded for our region for our healthcare. So let's focus on that. Another thing I think it's important, one of the projects that are moving forward and almost done is our chemo ward. So that's something that the province has committed to and followed through, and that's set to be open, I think, this spring. So it's kind of my thoughts on all of it, I think.
Something else that was talked about that seemed to be the hot button issue of Council on Monday was the resolution to approve the grant and lieu negotiation committee with Valet. Tell us a bit more about the committee and what it's tasked with.
So the committee is tasked with meeting with Valet to discuss the grant in lieu that comes up at the end of December 31st of 2017. And the committee is composed of the City of Thompson, representative from the LGD, representatives from the School District of Mystery Lake, and from Valet. So the committee will meet and start the deliberations or the discussions pretty soon, I would think, to get it done as soon as we can, because between the school district and us, we need to know where we stand with that before we can move into already next year's budget deliberations.
And who from City Council is on the committee? This
year, the committee will be the Finance and Administration Committee and the Mayor.
And is there anything about the negotiations this year that may have been different from those in the past?
Well, I don't know, because I obviously wasn't a part of it in the past. So I don't know what the changes would be. There have been different things that have been, I don't know if negotiated is the right word, I don't think it is, but there have been different things or different ways they've come to agreements and arrangements between the parties. So we don't know until we start meeting and until we get something together. So hopefully we start meeting soon and get the process started.
Now, as I said, this was the hot button topic at Council. Everyone had something to say and put in their own 2 cents on the matter. It started with Councillor Matichuk saying he had no confidence in the committee. And then Councillor Wong said that Mayor Fenske would be in conflict of interest since he is a Valet employee in addition to being the mayor. And I know you've probably heard this before, and Mayor Fenske has heard this the entire time he's been mayor. How would you respond to that?
I can't speak on behalf of Mayor Fenske and the conflict of interest portion from his point of view, but this has been a topic since we got elected in this term with a few of the councillors and with council as a whole. So I think from my point of view, it was clear, and I've spoke to this before, that when the Mayor Fenske ran in the election to be the mayor, he was a Valet employee, and the citizens knew that when he was running. He has done a good job representing the city as a whole. If you had the opportunity to always, when I give the one committee reports, he represents us at all minister meetings, at everything. He's very, very busy, and he does a very good job of it. So when he ran to be the mayor, the citizens knew where he worked, and he won by a large number of votes. So as the spokesperson for this city, he needs to be the spokesperson of the city. And so I have no problem, and I have the utmost confidence in him being a part of this committee or any other committee during this term.
Moving along, another thing that was brought up was the second and third reading of the Bylaw Enforcement Act enabling bylaw. It's a bit of a mouthful to say. But can you give us a quick rundown for those who may not be fully up to speed on what this bylaw is?
So this is the one about the parking tickets. So this is, I spoke about this last time, I think, actually, that it's the intent of this bylaw, and it's set kind of by the province, is they want to get parking tickets out of the court system to free up court time. So you'll have a couple options if you get a parking ticket. You can meet with, I think it's an adjudicator.
Screening officer
a screening officer first, and then is it adjudicator? I can't think of the right term.
I think it's adjudicator.
So you can kind of fight the process if you want, but you won't go through the court system to pay for parking tickets anymore. And this is a provincial thing. It's not just something that's happening in the city of Thompson and we dreamt this up. This is something that we have to follow, and hopefully it does work, because really our court systems are backlogged. So hopefully this process with the tickets works.
And do you have any idea about when this will come into effect in the city?
You know what? I don't have the exact date. I thought it was in March, but don't quote me on that. We once it's in force, obviously we'll have a press release and we'll get that out through the media.
And has there been any success in identifying or coming up with a process for hiring the screening officers?
That I'm not aware of, because I don't sit on the HR committee, so the hiring process for things like that, I don't know where they are at with that right now. So that would be announced also, but I'm not aware of where they are in the process.
Moving along from City Council, it's a busy weekend here in Thompson with the 47th Annual Munn Cup starting tomorrow. What are you looking forward to the most?
Well, I could have done the whole show today about Munn Cup, because I was a big Munn Cup chair committee person. So what am I looking forward to the most? Well, I know that tonight is typically when they decorate the VRCC. And I think the committee chairs for that were Anissa Dawson and Pam Noseworthy and their committee. So even if you aren't a hockey fan, it's definitely worth going down just to see how the VRCC is decorated, and the atmosphere is something to see. So they usually do a whole, I don't know if they still do, but they do some history and stuff. So I love that. I love the fact that they follow tradition, where they typically have like the Safeway cupcakes, and the opening ceremonies are Saturday, and we get a big group of people that come and watch that, because the Thompson team usually plays right following opening ceremonies. They have fun night. I love everything about the Munn Cup, and people know that about me, and I'll definitely be down there the whole time. In saying that, I just want to throw out that it's also the final weekend for the North Stars. And in Munn Cup, there's 294 hockey players, because all 294 of them are getting free tickets to come watch the North Stars play on Saturday night. So it is going to be a very, very busy weekend. I love it. I already seen this morning when I pulled up that RV at Narankin Inlet is here, and they were playing road hockey in the parking lot of Doug's. So we welcome everybody to the city. It's going to be busy around town. It's just going to be great. I encourage people to come down there and see it. It's something to see.
All right, thank you.
Stuart, you got to come for your first Munn Cup.
I'll definitely be there. Well, thank you for coming in and joining us today. This has been City Beat. Happy Louis Riel long weekend day to everyone. For 102.9 CHTM, I'm Stuart Walter.